can't wheel around.
I can't get comfortable. Son of a bitch. That's
What was that? You say something?
Right, exactly. Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Evan.
And together,
We're the Deplorable General.
Every week we bring you tactical tips and tricks, guns and gear review, some political commentary from time to time. I myself am a military veteran. I am a bounty hunter and former NRA instructor.
I'm a bounty hunter, former NRA instructor, security contractor, and consultant.
So we both have experience that we bring to the table and a decent amount of training. We like to bring good and interactive content, stuff that helps you to learn and also is entertaining. So all in the realm of things tactical. So we always like to give a shout out to our supporters to begin with, to the people and companies that have supported the show pretty much from the get-go. FN is one of the only companies who has sent us gear and swag and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So we like to use that for giveaways. So we always like to give a shout out to FN. Great gun company. If you're considering a new firearm, consider FN. You will not be disappointed. And the other company that I'm going to give a shout out to today is the Gun Bunker. They're down in Shrewsbury, right on Main Street. I don't have the address offhand. I will have it for you next time. But we are going to start, probably starting in December. If not December, then January, but hopefully December, we're going to start having a Gun Bunker Gun of the Month. Okay, so Gun Bunker has over 3,000 guns to their name, and in that collection, they have all kinds of really cool stuff that most people have never actually seen in person. So these are guns that, like, when you actually get to handle them, you get excited. At least people like Evan and I do.
Yeah.
Once a month, we're gonna have the Gun Bunker Gun of the Month. We're gonna bring that gun in. They're gonna lend it to us. We're gonna show it off to you guys, give you guys some history about it, tell you why it's special, and that's gonna be a new addition to the show. Hopefully, starting here in December. So FN and Gun Bunker for me.
I want to give a shout out to Moe's Garage off of West York. Carl and Jess out there, a couple of very good people. Keep me on the road, brother. Keep me on the road. And I just want to give them a big shout out. It's a local business. It's a small business. Guys, I'm a big supporter of small businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also want to give a shout out to Nighthawk. Nighthawk was nice enough to send me this hat a few months ago, and it's one gunsmith. They make some excellent 1911s and shotguns. So yes, I want to give them a good shout out of Berryville, Arkansas. So there you go.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've gone over a bunch of different stuff before. For those of you who haven't seen our show, if this is the first time tuning in, one of the topics that we've talked about is the history of certain weapons. We've talked about like the history of the AK, the history of the AR-15 or the M16 platform. We've talked about the history of Glock. So tonight, Evan has actually purchased a new firearm to him, and because of that, we decided to cover the history of that company. A very reputable.
And I went to their academy too.
Right, exactly. So very reputable, well-known company, and I'm going to go ahead and let Evan introduce the firearm that he recently purchased.
I recently purchased from Carbon Steel, which is another local company, the SIG 232. Guys, this is, believe it or not, this is my everyday carry gun. It's a 380 single stack, 7-shot magazine, 1 in the chamber. This is not a gun that is by any means of the stretch of the imagination a man stopper, but it will get you out of a bad situation. Hopefully I'll never have to use it. It is a Walther kind of design. One thing about it is it does not have a slide release. Just like the Walther PP series, You got to manually pull back the slide, slingshot the slide home, and it'll run over the magazine. Now, one thing that this has over the Walther is the Walther's got a manual slide operated safety on this side of the gun. Okay. The thing about it is this has a decocker. Okay. So you just hit that, it decocks. There's no safety. It's just like carrying a double action revolver. All I gotta do is hit the trigger and the gun goes bang. Another thing about this gun is for my big hands. Because of my big hands, I like a gun to fit my hand. Okay, even though this is going to be a one-handed shooter, whatever, this is a very comfortable gun, especially with the finger groove on the magazine. Another thing I want to say is they actually make the mag like a mag well. So all I got to do is put it in there and it'll go right in there. Now the downside of this gun is it's got a European mag release. I'm not a big fan of that. However, it's not a turn off of a deal breaker. It's just a training issue.
Right.
I had a P38 for a long time, same mag release, and that was a full size gun.
Yep.
So it's not a big deal to me. Besides that, this is something I put in my pocket. This is not this is strictly a concealed carry handgun. I never really, the reason I bought it is because I never had a concealed carry handgun. I always had, this is another SIG of mine, full size 1911. This was my concealed carry gun for a long time. Okay? However, with the militia, we did an operation. This was not practical. This was just not a practical gun to carry concealed for the operation, because I went as gray man. We didn't, this was not going to fly.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's a 5-inch gun. Yes, it's a good gun, and it just was just not practical. Now, this is a SIG. This is what I went to SIG Star Academy with. I even brought the SIG mags for it. It's a great gun. Love my 1911 to death. I ain't going to get rid of it. It's there. It's just that this was just a little bit more practical for the operation. Another thing I like about it, I don't know if I touched on this or not, is unlike the Walther, I don't get the hammer bite.
Right. Yep.
So it was good. It was very good. Now
the hammer sticks out just enough for you to be able to grab
Oh,
it.
I could still grab it if I needed to.
Right.
If I need to make that single action shot,
Yep.
I can do it. However, one of the unique things is that everybody talks about trigger reset. This is an old gun, guys. It's an old design gun. This is one of the guns that were actually designed from Germany, sent over, assembled here.
Right.
Okay, so this is the original one of the last guns that were made in Germany, next to the X series and the P210s, which are now assembled here. But the original 220s, the 45s, the 9mm, all them, the 38 Supers, all them were made in Germany and then assembled here.
Right.
This gun was one of those guns. Okay, MSRP on this gun back when they were produced was up to $800 on this gun. Now the funny thing is, it's got a very short trigger reset. Very short. That's it. Mm-hmm. Now, this is before that was ever a deal.
Right.
now, that's an awesome reset.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even get that from the Walther.
Right.
So it's got a lot better trigger. Very crisp double action. Very easy gun to shoot.
Yeah.
And I even got a target here.
Good.
I'm going to stand up and get the target. Okay, that's 357. I got 3 targets here, guys. On that one, that's just a revolver target. I'm going to show you this, some range reports. Hold that. No, I ain't need it. Here's my 380 target. These are Arkansas State Police qualification targets. I got it Trop gun shop. And you can see that this target was shot at 12 yards. And that's a 12-yard grouping out of a standard 380 using 380 SIG ammo. When this gun was made, SIG did not have its own ammo. This is just something I was able to get. And yes, I got a couple of flyers on there, but everything pretty much hit the target that I wanted it to shoot. And I mean, they did it shoots really good. And for 12 yards, that's really stretching the gun out. You're not going to really shoot that gun at 12 yards.
Yeah, 380, no way.
And I was comfortable enough with it to shoot at 12 yards. And you can see that every one of those rounds would have hurt the guy. So, I did, for that little gun that shoots extremely well. And like I said, I would have never done that with any other gun. And having that fixed barrel on there also, the beautiful thing is it's like having a revolver with a fixed barrel. And that's what gave it that accuracy. And it's a snappy gun. It does snap. But yeah, it's a great shooter. Very reliable.
No malfunctions?
No malfunctions. Some ammo related malfunctions, but nothing that was a game changer. No magazine malfunctions, no
failure to feed.
no failure to feed. Stovepipes. Everything was, as far as mechanically goes, I mean, one of the beautiful things about this gun is, unlike the Walther, it's very easy to take apart.
Wow.
And the Walther, you had to make a little wooden dial, pull down the trigger guard. One thing I want to note, and it's going to be hard to see, is the feed ramp on this gun. I doubt if you're going to pick that up on camera. But the feed ramp on this gun is polished. The barrel is throated, so you should not have any problem feeding hollow points at all. And that's factory, guys. This has not been tuned by a gunsmith. This is not a custom pistol whatsoever. This is a stainless steel 380 carry gun. That's what this is. I mean, I even carry this on my tack vest when I do bounty hunting. This just goes in a magazine carrier on the tack vest. That's strictly a backup.
Right. So some of the history of Sig SIG Sauer is actually the combination of two separate companies. In the U.S., SIG Arms was created in 1985. But the original SIG, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. It's a Swiss name, but it's Swiss Wagon Factory. It was founded in 1853 by Friedrich Peyer Imhoff, Henrik Moser, and Jonathan Conrad Mayer. In 1860, a state-of-the-art rifle of their creation won a competition by Switzerland's Federal Ministry of Defense, resulting in the award of the contract to produce 30,000 Prelaz Burnand rifles. The Prelaz Burnand 1859 was invented by gunsmith Jean-Louis Joseph Prelaz and Army officer Edward Burnand, and adopted as rifle M1863. So 15,566 of those were made by SIG. So again, that was just SIG was the original company. Now, that they were a Swiss company, and they merged with J.P. Sauer and Son of Germany, and that's how we got SIG Sauer. So originally, SIG. Like I said, they started out in the late 1800s, so they are one of the older weapons manufacturers that we have.
Next to FN.
Right.
And, I carry an FN, and I was going to, there's a target over there later, after we go through this, I want to show you what the difference is between the 1911 and the FN that I carry. It's very interesting. So there's a little, I just want to touch on that. But as you can well see, me and Andy, we carry a variety of guns. We're not one company snobs.
Right.
You get what you pay for. Guys, SIG is SIG, FN, Colt, Springfield. They're all old. Remington are all the old gun manufacturers.
You get some gray hair in here, man.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm gonna go. Shut up, Andy. Don't tell nobody.
I got some shoe polish.
No, I'm gonna get my ears lowered tomorrow. So
it's not gonna ungray your hair, though.
yeah, but when I get it high and tight, it's gonna be harder to
Just
see.
for men.
Oh, shut up! Dadgum, you make me feel old.
Well,
Well,
so
okay.
But one of the interesting things, though, is that so to jump back on this, the M1863 was one of the only weapons that they made for
Years.
For quite a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
not that they didn't attempt to make other firearms, and other firearms didn't hit the market. That was really just one of the only successful firearms that SIG made that early on in the game, and then it wasn't until 1947 that they made the P210, and it was based off the French model 1935 pistol. Of course, a Browning design.
Gee, imagine that.
And it was adopted by the Swiss military in 1949 as the Pistole 49, the single-action semi-automatic P210. Brought SIG much acclaim, so it was pretty revolutionary at the time. It was good enough of a weapon for the military to adopt it.
By the way, guys, that pistol is being remade now by SIG.
Yep.
It's got a following. The base price on that gun for a new one, which actually has, the difference is the original ones had this European mag release,
Right.
The heel release, just like this, and it held an 8-shot plus one handgun, very accurate. Same kind of fixed barrel design. By the way, that handgun is now being remade for $1,500 starting price.
Wow.
So it's not a cheap handgun by any stretch of the imagination, but guys, I mean, it does have a following.
It's one of the originals. I mean,
It's one of the originals, and it's got a following just like the 1911.
Right, exactly. And so 1970s, in the 70s, SIG actually purchased J.P. Sauer and Son, that's when they merged and they became SIG Sauer. So that's where SIG Sauer came from. Then in 2000, the SIG sold to L&O Holding, which is now known as Swiss Arms. So it's changed. The company's changed hands quite a number of times, or picked up new companies and new designs. Obviously, they have more than just those models, but that was kind of the infancy of SIG. All said and done, though, one of the oldest modern firearm manufacturers in the world, modern successful firearms manufacturers in the world. As a matter of fact, like when I was in the Navy, the captain of our ship had two SIGs in his chambers that he used for his personal protection on board the Eisenhower, so aircraft carrier. So world renowned SIGs are.
Well, and the funny thing is, it was in what year was it that they started? 1911, 99, 1999, 2000. They started making 1911s. The Scorpion didn't come out until 2011. This is a Generation 1 1911 6-hour Scorpion. I put 600 rounds. The first week I had this gun, I put 600 rounds through it. I put 300 rounds at 6-hour Academy with this gun right here for executive protection training. And then I went the following weekend, I put another 250 rounds through it. When I started training again, I was carrying this handgun. By the way, this handgun loves Burns X 185 grain bullets. Problem is with that's over $20 a round. And what I was going to get at before the show was over, you can find me my FN target over there. Mm-hmm. I want to bring that up.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what you're going to tell me.
My FN, I'm going to unload it. My FN, unlike my 1911, my 1911 has got a machined 416 stainless steel match grade barrel. Okay, it's machined. It's just drilled out of stainless steel, bar stock of stainless steel. It's precision. It is a match grade 1911. It shoots good. It shoots really good with Burns X bullets. The downside of the Burns X bullets is over $1 a round. Now, the FN X 45 has a cold hammer forged steel barrel. Now, what I want to note is the reason I'm talking about this is this ammunition is a variety of ammo. Okay? The majority of the ammo was SIG Sauer 230 grain ball ammo. However, some of this ammunition was old duty ammo. Okay? Some of it was overcharged, some of it was overpressured, some of it was just old just old ammo that I had laying around, and I just decided to blow it away. I want you to notice the consistency of this. Now, some of this ammunition is not known to be real accurate because it's hyper performance ammunition. and it's over $1 a bullet. Now, some of them shot a little high, but they were still kill shots. Now, one modification that I made to this gun, and Carbon Steel did it, was they put the night sights on my FM. But I want you to see the majority of the rounds went right through this. Right through center mass. And that is because of cold hammer forged steel barrel. My 1911 wouldn't shoot that good with that kind of ammunition because it only likes a certain kind of ammo. Now that doesn't mean that don't go out and get a SIG 1911 because it don't shoot as good as, let's say, this does. However, being a 1911, this got over 4,000 rounds put through it, my 1911. The thing about it is, my 1911, every 1911 is different. They all probably like different ammunition differently. It shoots 230 grain ball, no problem. It shoots good. It just happens to like the 185s. Mm-hmm. And that's just the downside of a 1911.
Yeah. So the last little note about SIG is, because we're only down to about 2 minutes left here, is that so those of you that have been paid attention to the firearms community knows that the military was looking for a new handgun. Bids were submitted in 2016. Last year, 2017, SIG was awarded the military contract for the P320 because of its modular design. Was one of the biggest reasons. The fact that you can swap out the upper and have a completely different gun. You can swap out the slide and have a completely different gun.
Frame.
Yeah.
The trigger is the trigger system. The trigger pack is the gun.
Right. Exactly. So very modular. Very there's a lot of debate about it in the gun community, just like there's a lot of debate about everything. But I've got to handle them before. I like them. I think they're a good gun. I think it was a good decision, all in all, for the military to go with the SIG. And
let me tell you why that was the biggest thing. And a prime example is my friend Rip Cannon. Okay, he's got his old Gen 1 Glock. He took that Gen 1 Glock overseas with him. Well, it was shot. Okay, it's got a little battle scar to it. Doesn't affect the gun any, but, it was hit. With the modularity, if a gun was damaged, all they had to do was take the takedown lever out, take the slide off of it, take the takedown lever out of it, take the trigger pack out of it, throw the frame away, just get another frame, and then you still have a gun, because with a Beretta or a metal frame or whatever, to get the, you got to replace the gun.
The whole, exactly. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit about the SIG line of firearms.
And check out their academy too. I highly recommend going to their academy.
Absolutely. So what do we got now? What are we down to?
We're down to about 45 seconds.
45 seconds?
30
seconds.
10.
All right. So anyway, I'm Andy.
I'm Evan.
Deplorable General,
over and out. Wow.